Welcome back there, buds. I hope everybody has been staying safe and healthy. So let's get to part 2 of this 2-part series, and we'll get the stain and finish. What I want to show you here today is a little process that I've kind of been working on in the past couple of years, just trying to develop this. I'm sure you've seen something like it, but I kind of take it one step further. And I just want to say in advance, probably don't try this at home. You should probably be in a controlled environment, sort of like what I have here. So if you burn your house down, it's not my fault. Just wanted to get that out of the way first. So before we get started, just as always, remember to like, comment, share, subscribe, give that bell a ring so you can always stay up to date with all my recent uploads. And let's get to looking at some samples here. Okay there, buds. So I went ahead the other day and I made up all these samples to show you kind of what's going through my head. I don't even know what's in there most times, but hopefully maybe this can explain my process and why I want to do this a little bit more. So we'll start off here, and I'm really only going to do this effect with the top and the sides, and you'll see in a minute. So I got all this poplar here because that's what the top and the sides are. So I just wanted to see what the finish. What I did was I applied a stain and then just used a rattle can of lacquer, quick pass, just to give it the, sort of the finished effect. So that is dark walnut. And as you can see there, it's pretty dark, pretty fast. The grain pops a little bit, doesn't look too bad, but it just hides too much of it. Then next I tried a little bit lighter. I went with the golden oak. As you can see, that's starting to get there. And that will allow a lot of that green to still show through the wood, which I would like to keep. Then I also did the red oak stain, and that's just too red. That's pretty much what the original finish on that was, but I don't really like it. Plus that red is gonna counteract that green. You won't even see it. And then this, that is just lacquer. That is natural. And it doesn't look bad. I mean, it looks like wood because it's wood. But I want to do a little bit more with it. So I'm sure you have all seen something that looks like that. That's pretty much, that's junk. No, we're not doing that. So here, what I did in this process, I lightly burn it. I just use a propane torch. I'll show you here in a minute. Very lightly, very carefully will burn it, and then I'll sand it. And that's gonna take away a lot of that really charred effect, and I don't want that charred effect. I just wanna pop that grain, and that's one of the best ways I've ever found, just to take that grain and just pop it right out. So that's just burnt, sanded, shot it with a little bit of lacquer, just to get an idea. So then next, what I did, same process, burnt, sanded, then I used the golden oak, and that, like I said, that allows that green to show through still. I think that looks pretty decent. And then this one here was with the red oak, and I think that red just, it doesn't really look as good. So I ran it by a couple people, and I think we all just decided that this, with that golden oak, with a little bit of burning, just to pop that grain with that golden oak. We'll only do this on the top and the sides, anything that's poplar, maybe the drawer handles, not the whole drawer, just very subtle. Just the subtlety of it is what will really bring out the detail of the wood and make it look beautiful. So I'll just show you a close up here of these samples now. And just to give you a closer look there, that is both with the golden oak stain. The one on the right was the burn one. You can see that grain has so much more character. Doesn't it? I'm almost doing this kind of like how I would spray a finish on. Want to go in light, even passes. You stay anywhere for too long in one spot, you're going to get a lot of blotchy marks. Bucko! Bucko wants to help. Buck, get out of here! I also re-sanded everything with a 220 because this would make any kind of scratches or swirl marks from a sander stand out like a sore thumb. So you want to be sure that this is sanded pretty much perfect. Then once we got to this point, I felt like that was a pretty good stopping point there, buds. And that's it. Just a subtle popping of that grain makes a world of a difference when you hit it with that stain. That rhymed. You can see there, got a little bit blotchy in some spots, but no biggie. Just sand that out. Just adjust it to whatever I think looks good. I kind of want to keep that a little bit darker along the edges, just because it reminds me of like the darkness, like the aging patina, like that you would see on like an older piece of furniture. I kind of like that look. But I don't know. We'll just see. Play it by ear. Now that I got the main part of the desk all done, we'll go ahead now and just do the handles a little bit. Got them all taped off. Now that we've got everything all burnt and sanded, one thing that I typically will do before I will apply stain or finish to a piece is just give it a good wipe down with some naphtha, and that will get rid of any grease or wax or oil or anything that would be left on that surface that could cause any problems with that future finish that we will be applying. And it also gives me a chance to see give me an idea of how this is going to look. It's going to wet the wood. It'll let me know, should I sand this out a little bit more? Are we good to go? We'll see. So I always just put it into a rag and just start wiping. And I don't think it looks terrible, but I will just sand a little bit more because it still looks a little bit too burnt for my liking. So we'll just let that sit up, let that dry for a minute, and then we'll just hit that top all once again. Now that I got everything sanded down to my liking, I'm just going to go ahead now, start with the drawers, get them stained, get that back panel, that little side piece, and then we'll do the top and all the main cabinet. Now that we got the little bits and pieces stained up, let's give this top a look. See what this looks like. Well, I got it all wiped down with stain now. Sides don't look too shabby. I think the top looks pretty great. It's got that green still popping. It'll lighten as it dries, so let it sit overnight, let it dry. And you know what we do when we let things dry? We get old Bucko out there for a hike. It's pretty amazing, buds. If you would have told me it would have been snowing like this, probably for our last time in the middle of April, I would have thought you were crazy, bud. Well, it's spray day, buds. Got everything all set up, ready to roll. So I think we'll start with just spraying that top and go from there. Alright there, buds, let this sit overnight, give that sealer a good chance to dry up. That's when you can really start to see the true character of that wood. I love how this green can still all pop out. So then what I do before the other top coat, block out with a 400 grit sandpaper and then finish off with a fine scuff pad. Probably 90% of the work that I do in finishing, I can tell more from just the feel than I can from sight. And sometimes, sound helps too. That feels pretty good. I don't want to take too much off, but just try to level it out and get the roughness off. So I just have to do that all the way around, all the drawers, everything. Now that I got everything smoother than Bucko's belly button, go ahead now and start spraying that top coat. It's a pre-cat lacquer. Well, buds, here we are with another one done. I hope you like what you see. Oh, hell, I don't even know if I like what I see these days. But I do know one thing. I do like this little piece of furniture, this little desk. I think that top turned out great. Some of the other bits and pieces could have been better, but this was just a fun project that I could just have a field day on. Keep me busy. I hope you can have something to keep you busy, and I'll keep you company if you keep me company. So everybody just stay out there. Stay safe out there, buds. Thanks for watching.